And action. Action. We are live, everybody. Hello to our panel. Hello, Carly. Hello, Letty. And hello to everybody at home, wherever you are. Good to see you. Phantom X, mysterious, but you're here, and we're here for that. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be with us today. I don't know about y'all, but this is not a terrible way to spend a Friday afternoon, in my humble opinion.
It's the best way.
It's not bad. Hello to our favorite Google on Instagram. It is so good to see you. It is so good to see you.
I hope I'm audible.
We hear you. We see you. We love you. Hello to Daisy and Raymond in the comments. Yolanda, we see you. Yeah, guys, this is exactly where I want to be right now, and thank you all for being here as well. I think that I'll tell you a little bit about our speaker, but my favorite thing to do as an unauthorized host that I am is let them do all of the talking. But for those that know and don't know, Keneilwe is a well-loved member of our community. She reigns from cohort 24, which was back in 2021, I believe.
2020.
2020.
Ages.
And ages ago.
We've changed, we've evolved, we have as a community. And Keneilwe is a incredible UX UI alumnus. She is currently plying her trade at Old Mutual, a partner of ours at Umuzi. And something that I'm incredibly excited about today is that we have a cohort in studio at the moment, Keneilwe, cohort 38, which is a group of 10 designers with Old Mutual, and I'm hoping to see some of them here in the comment section a little bit later. So that's a nice little line in there. Yeah, I think I'll ask the questions as they come in, but I know you have a background in urban planning, which I'm fascinated to hear more about. And with that, I'll hand over to you. But we'll be here jumping in whenever.
Let me share my screen.
Sure. Guys, in the comments, the people that are watching from the comfort of their own beds, probably because it's a Friday, let us know where you are dialing in from. Are you Josie? Are you Cape Town? Are you Gqeberha? Because that's where I'm at. Let us know where you are, and we'll get going when Keneilwe's got the things. Are you coming right with the screen share there?
Let me just do my entire screen.
I can always
visible.
I think we need a shout out for the bird in the background.
As the host.
As the host, your co-host. Your unauthorized co-host.
The unauthorized co-host is an African grey, and I really tried to have a good chat with him earlier.
Just it's nice screen sharing.
So we can't see it. Are you sharing off of StreamYard? It hasn't popped up on my side yet, but worst case scenario, you can share it to me on emails and I'll quickly pull it up for you.
It's like a Figma. It's a Figma file.
Okay. So if you present with the button on the bottom, you can share your entire screen and then just select the tab that Figma is open on. Will that work?
Great. Let me just see what's going on.
PLK. Is that Polokwane? Lindo, we've got Polokwane in the building, hoping. We got some Cape Town, we got some Josie, we got some Pretoria nogal. Sheesh.
Your technology. Why? Oh, why? Is it doing this?
Women in tech, I see.
Okay.
But yeah, as a backup, just share it with me if you want, and I can.
Okay, let me just share with you the link.
Wow.
Paste it in the chat, and then I'll just say next slide.
Yeah, you can go like this, ding, and then I'll know. But you've got to make it sound less parrot-like and more bell-like, because now I'm confused.
Okay, there we go. I just shared in the chat. Hopefully it works.
Okay. At least when you have a parrot as your co-host, you never have to worry about awkward silences on a Zoom call, because there just never will be awkward silences. Okay. Grant me permissions, and then we are good to go. Let's see where this is the moment. Remember, I asked you to prepare a comedic skit for us. This is the opportunity.
Ooh, me.
I'm so glad you said let's see where. Yes, let's see, let's go.
Nothing.
Nothing. Not a thing.
Oh, and we've lost our speaker. Let's see where. Unfortunately, it's going to have to be you. We've lost Keneilwe. We need you to tell us your story. I mean, I'm not opposed to that. It's a beautiful story.
I can share a little bit about C24 while we wait, maybe.
Yeah.
It was such a great group of learners, and I think I can see a few of them in the chat, which is so nice. So a couple of them, I think they started, firstly, apologies for my voice in advance because it's a little unwell, but it's carrying me through the day. They started just before lockdown. So they started in person, and then lockdown happened, and then things had to change. I'm sure it was them. Yeah. If I'm wrong, please let me know.
I think it's true, because Pindile, who we saw this week of the alumni council, she is also part of that cohort.
Yes.
And she mentioned that. What a time.
Yeah.
Hey?
It was a time. It was a time.
Do we have, so we got some cohort 24s in the building. We've established this.
Yeah, we do. Unless I'm getting my cohorts mixed up, which is possible. I'm old and my voice sounds like I'm old. So, you know. Yay! Okay. Thanks. I knew, Yolanda. Yay! So nice to see you guys.
What other cohorts do we have repping here? Let's do a what's the word? Census. A cohort census.
Yeah. Let's see who's here. It's always nice to see some familiar names. And hopefully faces. Faces. Who else is in here?
We've got C36. We've got C25.
Yay! 39.
Carly, what cohort did you join in Umuzi at?
C24.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why they got a special place in my heart.
You can host.
Okay. I can host. You know, you do a great job. You're doing a great job. I'm just the backup fun fact lady with a croaky voice. 37 coming through. Sure. So nice. 34.
Carly, don't you sometimes go by the nickname Carly Beats?
Not today. Not
Not
today. No, not today. Let's see where, on the other hand. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go back to our old faithful Fred Again video because it is beautiful while we
It's beautiful.
we're set up, and then we will kick things off. Let's find us.
Awesome. I'm just
Sorry,
gonna...
Yeah. We'll camera off if you forgot to get your beverage of choice, hot or cold, Friday afternoon, please go do the things, and we'll see you in less than 5 minutes.
Awesome.
Touch me, talk to me, pull me out of this place. Brilliance, lost keys, do you know what you're doing to me?
Hello.
I'm back. Sorry, guys. Sorry to
All good.
Deja vu, that was all just everybody having a moment of dissociation. We are live. Hello and welcome to Friday afternoon sessions beyond Umuzi. I'm gonna skip all of the introductions that I've already said. Keneilwe, are you strong? Are you sorted there?
I'm strong. Hopefully you can share for me.
Yeah, let me do that. And then we work together, me and you.
Yes.
Okay, confirm for me that we can see the screen, and then we move.
Okay, it's still loading on my side.
There we go. Look at that face. There she is.
There she is. Yay. Okay.
Start. You can click just next for me, please.
Next.
There we go. Hello. Dumelang. How's it, everyone at home? Sorry, we're having difficulties having to make everyone wait. So I just wanted to start by greeting everyone on the call and greeting those that you walk with. So thank you. I just want to say thank you for allowing me to just share a piece of me with all of you. Thank you, everyone, for holding space for me. Yeah, just before I introduce myself, I just wanted to greet everyone in the room and just thank you. Yeah, next slide. So I just want to say that this is a non-judgmental space. I just want everyone to be kind to one another and just be respectful. This is a safe zone, so everyone's voices matter. So don't be scared to comment. Don't be scared to engage. This session is just for us, for you to get to know me and me to get to know everyone that's on the call, that's in the room. So don't be scared to say or voice anything. Next slide, please. Yeah, let's get started. So who am I? You probably wondering, like, who this girl? Next slide, please. It works. Hopefully it works, that GIF. So my name is Keneilwe Manganya. I am from the West of Johannesburg in a small town called Randfontein. It's fine if that GIF doesn't work. But next slide. It's actually a GIF. So I am a design warrior, design ninja, I like to call myself, helping financial institutions to deliver data-driven, intuitive, and value-driven digital experiences. And that might sound like, oh, a mouthful. Like, what does that mean? So essentially, we create digital experiences so that our customers are able to reach their financial goals. Just on the slide, a lot of us usually, when we introduce ourselves, we speak about, "Hey, I'm this. I'm a UX designer." You describe where you are from. "Hey, I'm from a specific city," and you describe yourself as a pronoun in some instances, with a sort of pronoun. But for me, the next slide, please. I'm just a spiritual being having a human experience on this earth. And sometimes your soul, when you were born or before you were born, your soul has already decided that, hey, there's a path for you to take on this earth, and you're going to have a set of experiences that are going to lead you towards a direction, that leads you on a certain path. So for me, first and foremost, I always say, I am a spiritual being having a human experience. And Sarah did mention earlier around calling me a gogo. So gogo in South African terms is really someone who has gone sort of into initiation school to become either sangoma, to become a healer, to become someone who works with people and engages with the elders on sacred knowledge. I do have a calling, and I do have that spiritual gift that's been granted to me by my ancestors. And so that's why I always ground myself and start my journey and start everything around just being a spiritual being and having a human experience. And a lot of people will say, "Oh, I had a bad experience," or "I had a good experience," but I don't see experiences as good or bad. I see experiences as a chance for us as humans to learn, and to take away lessons from those experiences. We call them bad experience because we find ourselves feeling a little bit uncomfortable. We don't know how to deal with certain situations, and we find ourselves in uncomfortable positions. But those are the moments where you thrive the most, where you need to take away lessons, where you essentially, the world just shows you how you can become more of who you are. Next slide, please. So yeah, where did my journey with Umuzi start? And this is where, where my path was just laid out for me. It was a long journey, I must say. It was a long journey. I started this journey way, way back in around 2018. No, even before that. Probably 2017, 2018 was around the time I had started this journey. It was a long journey. It was a very long journey. Next slide, please. And I'll explain along the next coming slides why I say it was a long journey, and why I am where I am supposed to be, right? Aligning with the universe. So a lot of my family members, when I decided to, decide to do a learnership, were like, "Huh? Why are you doing a learnership?" Next slide, please. So it was like, why are you doing a learnership? First of all, you have a master's degree from a German university. So why a learnership? And secondly, you have an undergraduate and an honors degree in urban and regional planning. So where is this sort of thing coming from? And for me, I think just having these 2 degrees really helped me, or laid out the path for me, to find my way to UX and UI. I had, for a very long time, been interested in people, their behavior, and doing research and understanding, why do people behave the way they do. And when I was doing both these degrees, I think I was very much interested in, how do spaces shape people, and how do people shape spaces? And that's the link with UX UI, is that what is causing people to act the way they do? Is it because I've designed something in a particular way that they're acting in that way? Or is it they are essentially impacting or influencing the way I'm designing? So it's not that, that because I have these 2 degrees, I should be working, earning 1 million a month somewhere, in the private sector. But for me, I saw these 2 degrees as a way for me to essentially understand better our customers when designing digital experiences. Next slide, please.
Can I propose that you go ding? Because it's just funnier.
Ting!
Okay, you ding, I go.
Not only do I have 2 master's degrees, I've done multiple internships. As I've said, I did study in Germany between 2014 and 2016. And during that time, I was able to intern at a Danish NGO. As you can see, I look like the youngest person in this picture. The only Black woman in the room, the only South African, the only African in the room. And for me, that was an accomplishment. That was a success for me to say, I do matter, and the work that I'm doing and the things that I'm learning are actually making an impact and leading me towards a certain direction. So International Federation for Housing and Planning, I did my internship in 2015, and that was in Copenhagen, Denmark. I must say, Denmark is such an expensive city, but it's a beautiful city, one of the happiest cities in the world, and I understand why. Next slide, please.
Oh no, honey, that's not how we change slides. That's not how we change the slides. Ding! Just kidding, I got you.
Not only did I intern at a Danish institution, I was a program manager for an NGO in the east of Johannesburg called Makers Valley Partnership. And I was a program manager from 2019 to 2020. So one of the organizations that I also did work for, which was an NGO, was South African Cities Network, which I don't mention here, that I'll mention in the next slide that's coming. But I was a program manager for Makers Valley Partnership.
We've lost Keneilwe. Carly, can you still hear? Very still.
No, I can still hear you. But Shem, I think she's gone. She's frozen. I'm sure she'll be back in a minute.
Lindo, I hope you are not laughing at us, because that would just it's so hard to digest. Shame. I think Keneilwe, in the beginning of the session, she said she was having network, and it's the 4 o'clock load shedding.
Yeah, so maybe that it's just hit me as well. Maybe it got her.
Yeah.
No.
You can put song requests in the chat if that would please you in any way, but otherwise we'll go back to Fred and we will make the most with what we have until we can get back online, guys. Oh wait, no, we should be good actually. Look at that.
Oh, yay. Welcome back.
I'm like waving. I'm like, can anyone hear me? Can anyone see me?
Oh, we can hear you.
Yeah, so it was load shedding. We just had to change networks quickly. This is South Africa, and it's very, very sad that we have load shedding like this, but I'm back. So as I was mentioning around Makers Valley Partnership, I was the program manager there. And, a few years ago, Meghan Merkel was in the country. I met Meghan Merkel, and that was our team. She actually came to Victoria Yards to meet and see all the social enterprises that are actually making a difference in the east of Johannesburg. And our goal and our focus then was people before profit. It was a very, very important time for me to learn about social enterprises, companies doing good, and not really focusing on profit for all the work that they do. Next slide, please. So, the journey to Umuzi, the long road that I was talking about. So in 2018, as I mentioned, what had happened was I applied. So I was working at the African Studies Network, and I was working with Lindy Gugushe, if anyone knows her. I hope you're tuning in, Lindy. And there was a time in the office she was working.
Sorry?
I think Letty was just having her mic was on. Don't worry, carry on.
Oh, okay.
Maybe having some issues now as well.
All right. So in 2018, there was a time in the office when I was working at South African Studies Network, and I looked at Lindy. She was busy doing this thing, and she was rushing. She's like, no, I need to hand in something. And only to find out that she was applying to Umuzi. So I was like, ooh, that sounds interesting. That sounds very much like something I would want to do. And that year, she actually applied and got in doing graphic design. And I somehow, I don't know, I was interested, but I didn't apply. And once you start that process of applying, you get the emails from Umuzi. They remind you, hey, apply. You tried to apply, but stuff didn't happen. You didn't hand in. And at one point, I then applied. It was a very long process. You had to do the aptitude test. You had to do a Google course before you can actually get to boot camp. You had to come for an interview. So it was a very long process, but the vetting was very good, which was a good thing. And I did my boot camp around that time, around 2018. And I got provisionally accepted. So I was provisionally accepted, meaning that yes, we've taken you. Unfortunately, there aren't any placements at the moment. Okay, so then I just carried on with my life, as I was working at Makers Valley Partnership. Another opportunity came in 2019 where they were like, no, come back. We have an interview for you. And I was like, sorry, I can't attend right now. I'm working. And I had to weigh the pros and cons, work or Umuzi. And at that time, it was a period in my life where I just needed to work. And so I declined coming in for an interview. I declined. And then in 2020, around 2020, next slide. So around 2020, not the previous one, sorry. So around 2020, so 2020 was the year, as I told you guys, I went to initiation school to be a healer. And I got back home, and it was like a different world for me. Initiation school, it's almost like you're in solitude. You are one with yourself. You're learning everything about yourself, and coming back into the world for me was a bit difficult. I didn't have a job. My sister had just moved into a new place. And so when I got back home, I was like, what do I do next? What is next for me? Like, where do I go now? And funny enough, an email came through. It was like, there's boot camp. I'm like, hold up. What's happening? I think the universe is trying to tell me, I've been on this long journey with emails, applying. And finally in 2020, I was like, no, this is the calling that I was waiting for. Just as when I'm self-aware, this is definitely where I need to be. And it was very good for me because I had loved design since doing urban design. And so at this point in time, I was like, okay, the universe is trying to redirect me to a new space, whether I'm earning money or not. I accepted to come in for the boot camp, which was great for me. And during like I said, I came back into, the physical world. Now I'm back here. I didn't know what to do. I accepted to come into boot camp. I didn't have a laptop. I basically had only my phone basically during boot camp. And at that time, what I did was I went on Instagram. I was like, if anyone wants to borrow me a laptop, please, it's very important to me that I get a laptop. And I finally did get a laptop for that week, joining boot camp. So for me, it was like, when things are aligned, things will just work. I didn't know I would get a laptop. I just went into the universe and said, universe, if this is where you need me to be, then please do something about this. And this is where I find myself on the journey to Old Mutual. Next slide. Yeah, so I find myself at Old Mutual. So this was in September 2021. And the great part about going to Old Mutual was that, there were other Umuzi cohort, members that were with me. So I wasn't walking this journey on my own. I think one of the things that you learn while you're at Umuzi is, take somebody with you. And also, it's like you're a community. That's what's so great about Umuzi, is that you're just a community of people, working towards getting into the industry, get it into the creative industry, and everyone supported each other. I think I wouldn't have done as well as I did if I was alone. So the other, our members of the team were so supportive, so great. And I remember coming in, I was a shy person, I must say. I was very shy, very, very shy, but I did talk a lot at some. I did talk a lot, and the only reason why I did that was I needed to step out of my comfort zone, knowing that this is where my ancestors wanted me to be. I had to step out of my comfort zone. I had to do things differently because I had that intention in my heart to say, this is where I want to be. I'm going to take the initiative to learn as much as I can, to ask questions as much as I can, and to just, be curious. So at Old Mutual, what have I been up to? I have been basically as a community builder. So recently, our UI chapter leader, Viwe, had asked me to take on a simple task of just having wellness sessions. Being a spiritual being that I am, I took over the wellness sessions on our Friday sessions, and I organized little activities for our design team to engage in, because during the week we're so busy working. And you get so tired. So the wellness sessions are just a way for us to unwind. I did a 3-minute meditative video for the team. That was also very great. If you guys want a link, I'll share it with y'all. Just a 3-minute meditation that you can listen to. And we've done different activities on Figma. the emoji game, just sharing videos also and resources. And I just contribute also to our 360 design sessions, just making sure that those Figma files are up for the team to populate the work that they're doing during the week. Last year, I co-organized one of our end-of-year socials. So we went to Honeydew Mazes. That was very, very fun. And this is a few of the things that I've contributed so far. Next slide. So when it comes to the work, what have you done? What is out there for the people to see? So I've worked on a couple of projects, and I've worked across a web team, across app team, doing work for different platforms. One of the latest projects that I worked on is a WhatsApp feature. It's currently live. So if you go to the Old Mutual WhatsApp, you can check this journey out. It just allows customers who are SASA recipients to be able to claim on the platform. And next slide. And another project that we worked on, I hope Tepo and Kaugela are on the call. So we had a hackathon. So I love hackathons, and Old Mutual has a lot of these hackathons at the end of like our strategy planning, at the end of the quarter. So we love to enter. So we entered one of our hackathon ideas with Kaugela, Tepo, and Muponi. Those are other Umuzi members. And we actually came second, which we were so shocked to have come second in an internal hackathon for a status tracking idea. So the idea is that if customers come onto our platform and they either apply for a product or they they claim or withdraw on their products, they'd be able to track, just as you track, when you order online your clothes, you'd be able to do that for your applications. You'd be able to do that on a claim, on a withdrawal journey. And so from that win, I had worked on a status tracking capability, also on the app platform. And this is currently live in our Old Mutual app. So yeah, that's just one of the amazing projects that we do. We've worked on 404 Aeroscreen. So the projects are quite different. It's not that you get one thing all the time. There's different things, even if you find them small, but they actually make such a big difference to a customer that comes on our platforms. One of the other projects that we did was just designing for a 404 Aeroscreen. Like, if a customer lands on our website and our website is down, what do they do? You might find it's like a stupid thing, but we can't leave our customers at a dead end. We need to show them there are other platforms. We need to show them that, hey, they can go somewhere else. So that was also one of our projects that we worked on. So what have I learned just from being at Old Mutual and walking this journey? Like I said earlier, be curious. A lot of the times we are curious, but we are just scared to have our voices heard. So one of the things I would say is just be curious and don't be scared that what you're going to say in a room is stupid. Ask questions. I think that's one of the things that has worked for me. All the people that know me will know if I don't know something, I will ask and I will go look for the answer if I can't find it somewhere else. Build relationships. All of these are linked together. Build relationships with in the spaces, in the environments that you are in. And that's not just like, hey, can I have information on certain things? It's keeping in constant contact with the people in your environment. Even if it's not in your team, go out and ask questions outside of your team. And be curious to learn. Be curious to learn. Go ask questions. I'm I think my team will tell you, like, I know nothing about coding. You're going to work a lot with developers, and they're going to be in rooms talking about certain things related to your design. So be curious to ask also questions around code. If you don't know code, go on the side, say, hey, can you just teach me a little bit about coding and what does this mean? Because I think as designers, we sometimes have this thing where we design beautiful screens, eh? And when it comes to the dev work, when devs have to take over, it's like, no, this is not possible. This is not possible. Please reduce, simplify. So sometimes learning about what other people in your team do can really help you to harness your design skills. So go out and ask the engineers, the architects in your team. Ask them questions. Next slide. Next slide. So what are other interesting facts about me? So other interesting facts about me, I've been to a lot of cities across the world. Like I've spoken about studying in Germany, working in Copenhagen. My first trip overseas was actually in grade 11 in 2007 on a netball trip to the UK. So that was my first, I was like,
Oh, wow.
hey, let's do this. That was the first time I ever watched The Lion King in theater. So just putting yourself in a position where you take those opportunities. In high school, one of the things I used to do is like there was a biology trip. I'd never took biology. I never took biology at all. And I was like, to the teacher, I was like, can I come along? That's just the power of being curious. I was curious about what is involved in biology and why they're taking on trips. So I've just been traveling around the world, seeing different cities, and that opens your eyes to different viewpoints, different cultures, different people. And that's how I've gained confidence, in speaking and building relationships. It's just being exposed to different people and cultures across the world. Lastly, I'm a plant mama, which is an interesting fact about me. I love my plants. I hope there are plant parents in the room. I'm an avid collector of plants, and I love that. But yeah, thank you for listening to my talk. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties that occurred earlier, and the load shedding. And I hope you've enjoyed this chat. If there's any questions, if you want to have a chat, ask me about UI UX design. Hey, you're welcome to email me, holler at me. I'm always open to helping the next person.
Thank you, snaps and all the things. Keneilwe, it's such a pleasure to listen to you talk. Honestly, you got to the last slide now, and I was like, it's not that late. That was so beautiful to hear as a story. I have a question. I think if anyone does have a question in the comments, please do pop them in there. But I think something that I'd be interested to hear about is like how, so after finishing your learnership at Umuzi and then going, you did work experience with Old Mutual, is that right?
Yes, I did.
How was that? How did that feel? Did it feel like the same thing in a new space? Did it feel like something completely different? And how did you cope?
Yeah, I think it was something different, like stepping away from being in the classroom, because at Umuzi, everything was so fast paced. Like we never slept. We never slept. So
Are you sure?
It was a good not sleeping. It
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
I think it was not sleeping because it's like I love what I'm doing. I'm excited about what I'm doing. I love the projects that we're doing. And so for me, sometimes it's just exploring and trying to navigate this new environment that we were in. But that was good because when we got into the work space, that's exactly what we got. That is exactly what we got. It was like go, 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 go. And you start learning on the job. That's why I'm always saying ask questions, because in the workspace, people are constantly delivering on their work. So sometimes they won't have time to answer your questions. You won't have someone like a Carly in the room trying to explain certain concepts. It was nice that you guys were hand holding us, but in the workspace, you have to step out of your comfort zone and be open to the possibility that not everyone is going to be able to be there to hold your hand. And I think the one thing that also helped me was just having work experience before. So for me, it wasn't a difficult shift, but I know other people it was a bit tough because there's now deadlines, there's now asking you have to do, there's now getting used to a new environment, getting used to a new team. So it can be a lot at the same time. We were definitely anxious and scared, I must say. I was definitely scared when I started. But one of the key things I would say people going into the work space or work environment is just do Google searches on people that are I know it sounds like I'm stalking, but find out the people that are in your team. Find some information about them. And once you get into the workspace, you can find some little common thing that you can ask them about what you've researched. And that's the way to start building like your relationships. You say, hey, I see that you also like plants. I saw on your Instagram that you like plants. And that can be like a little conversation starter that connects you and the people that you might be scared to open yourself up to. Just learn a little bit about the strategies of the company. Research. Maybe I like researching. I don't like going into a space not knowing certain things, but just research. Otherwise, you can just go with the flow as well. Different strokes for different folks. Go in there and build relationships while you're inside your work experience. But yeah, just to come, I think having the other Umuzi recruits with me really also helped. There were people I could lean on and cry to and say, oh no, this is so hard. We were all experiencing the same things. And so I leaned on to all the other recruits who were in the room. And I was like, are you having the same issue? How can we solve this together? How can we hold each other's hands to get through this together? And that helped a lot, that there were people in the room to actually, have my back. And I think that was the one thing, like, oh, I'm not in this alone.
I have a question for you, Keneilwe. What is one of the things that stands out to you from your time at Umuzi? Like, I mean, anything.
I think Zito. I know that's weird because he was the one that was taking us through much of the UI work. And I think he always had time for us, gave us advice. One of the things I took away was that there's always someone ahead of you, or there's always someone doing something extra to get ahead, or to learn and get to where they want to go. And that always stuck with me. Just in the spaces that I'm in, I always try and what do I need to know for me to be at the same level as the people in the team? Do I need to learn more about engineering, coding? What is it that I need to learn for me to be able to, be at the same level as the people in the room. Because at the end of the day, I have a goal. The one thing that I always take away is that I determine success for myself. A lot of the times people put expectations on you to be at a certain level. But for me, I just always try to be intentional about the spaces that I'm in. It's very important. Sometimes we grind and we grind and we grind. We just want to be in a space. But if you are intentional, you will set goals for yourself to say, this is where I want to be. Oh, I see that my colleague knows a lot about a certain topic. I always ask them, like, can you teach me, or can you point me out to resources? Because I see that you are good at, this is your strength. This is what you're good at. I try to ask people, instead of being jealous, or instead of, going about it on my own, because sometimes you trip when you're on your own. You don't know where to navigate to, you don't know what to do. So asking people around you about certain things will get you very far. Will get you very, very far. Just be intentional. Define success for yourself. For me, success has always been that I bring value to a team. I contribute in some way, whether it's small or big. I get coffee for the team. That's my contribution. I get, I've helped my team deliver on a certain project. For me, it's very important that I contribute in some way to the team. And actually, early last year, this year, I took up a holistic coach, and one of the exercises that she made us do was to actually write your obituary. And I challenge people in the room, write your obituary and think about what you want for your life and how people will remember you. Because for me, what's important is that I was actually good to someone. I made a difference in someone's life. I contributed in some way, in a good way, and not in a way where I'll be remembered, oh, she was nasty to me. Oh, she was bad to me. I think the people that I come across and the people I interact with, I make sure that they will remember me for being good in their lives, or contributing something in their lives, because those are the good memories. You want people to remember me for the good things and not the bad things, the positive things, basically. Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, and such a lovely note to wrap things up on as well. Just a really nice, gentle, beautiful thing to leave us with. It's such a powerful tool to like reflect forwards almost, and that's something we try to do a lot in the space with each team member and learner that comes into the space. It's like write yourself a letter, choose a date, 6 months, 2 years, and then think about those things, because I think the difference between doing an exercise like that and not is like categorically just different playing fields, right? So that's really, really beautiful.
Definitely.
Thanks, Keneilwe. Man, what a whole vibe.
That was so lovely. Thank you so much. I'm sorry about my voice again. It's just got even worse.
Thank you.
I promise I feel fine. It's
that was lovely. If there's any more comments, you've got Keneilwe's email address, which she so lovely shared. The comment section will stay open for a little while, but thank you to everybody for pulling through. And Keneilwe, thank you for your time and your space and the energy that it's taken to be a part of this.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my energy with everyone.
Absolutely. A pleasure. And anytime you want to come back and visit us, you know where we are online. and maybe in person sometime. Who knows?
I will. Thank you so much.
Yay, people. Have an absolutely beautiful weekend. Be safe, be warm, be merry, be light, be heavy, whatever you need. And we'll see you at the next event. Yay.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Down.